Superstars, what's going on? This is Coach Wood, and we are locked and loaded, you guys, for another amazing episode of content. We are getting after it this week. There is no off season when it comes to Before You Go Pro, baby. So, hey, draft week, depending on when you're watching this is draft 2026 week. Some athletes are about to change their lives. Now, we do live in the day and age of NIL, so they probably have already changed their lives if they're getting drafted. But living a dream, baby. That's what it's all about, living a dream. And then that's why you guys come by our channel. This is the channel for the aspiring football players, the families of football players, the coaches and fans out there. So if that's you, you are in the right spot. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you're notified whenever we release new content on behalf of Before You Go Pro. If you're joining us for the first time, I am your host, Coach Wood, and we also have some special resources for you down in the description box, baby. So let's get after it, you guys. We have been covering some hard-hitting topics. We've been covering things that you guys can take to the bank to help you in your career, or if you're a parent, family member of an athlete, so that you can help them get where they're trying to go. But today's topic, you guys, is about when an athlete is getting close to that time and he's making that decision, and now he's finally got the scholarship. He's finally got the scholarship or the PWO offer. He's got the roster spot, and now it becomes real. We've got some athletes this week that have been waiting by the phone, and now they got the call that they've been waiting for. So it's finally become real. And they're only a few months away from their very first major college football training camp, you guys. So with Before You Go Pro, a lot of you guys may not know, but this isn't just a content company or business. We are full-on practitioners. We work with athletes across the country. We've been in the game for 20 years, so we've seen it all, you guys. And one thing that's unique to Before You Go Pro, and it is definitely a specific reason for it, but one thing that's unique to Before You Go Pro is that we do not leave our athletes. We do not leave our athletes. We are a recruiting and mentoring program. We help our gentlemen get off to college, get their boots on campus. And for many people that are in the space that we're in, you've heard of the NCSAs of the world, and there's plenty of other people that are in the recruiting space. For a lot of people, you guys, that's when it's the end. That's when it's the end of the relationship. It's arrivederci. We helped you get where you're trying to go, and now the job is done. The relationship is done. For us, we're like, oh no. If anything, you guys, the scholarship, the roster spot, and you former players that might be watching this will probably definitely agree with me. That is just chapter one. That is just chapter one, baby. So why would we leave you? Why would we leave one of our precious athletes that we just got to a big time, multi-million dollar, depending on the school you're going to, $1 billion campus? Why would we leave him when there's so much opportunity in front of him? Why would we leave him where there's so much opportunity to also lose it in front of him? To be honest with you guys, that's where I feel like things went off the rail for me a little bit. You feel like you've made it to a certain extent. And in today's day and age, let's call a spade, these kids got money in their pocket. We got kids going off to schools that haven't even hit the field yet, and they're making a lot more than their parents. So these kids got money in their pocket. Back in my day, we felt entitled. We felt like we had made it. All we got was a charter flight and a sweatsuit. These kids actually getting cars. They're getting homes. They're getting money. They're getting their parents a home. So they feel like they've made it. And if you're already feeling like you've made it before you really have, then what's to stop you from losing it all? What's to stop you from making a rash decision? What's to stop you from letting your ego get in the way of the big goal, you guys? So with our athletes, we do not leave our athletes. We expect them to have many highs and lows upon the journey. Once you get to campus, once you get to that scholarship, that roster spot, to that training camp, you're only to chapter one. You're only to chapter one. And here's a perfect example for you guys on how chapter one it is. For many of the athletes that go off to go play some big time ball, and I consider it all big time ball nowadays. You're playing D1, of course. You're playing D2, D3, NAI. You're going off. And for a lot of you guys away from home, some of you guys away from your region, you guys, you're going off for the first time. You're in a new state, a lot of you guys, for the first time. You're away from your parents, your siblings, your loved ones, your close friends for the first time. You're going to have new requirements and expectations on the football field. You're going to have new teammates, new coaches, new playbook, the whole 9 yards, let alone new academic responsibilities and a whole new social life. Not a kind of new social life, a whole new social life. You guys, I went from an all-boys school in San Francisco, California with a disciplinarian dad to co-ed hallways in the dorm that I'm staying in Boulder, Colorado. Totally different social life, you guys. So it is chapter one. All of the opportunity is in front of you. All of the opportunity to possibly lose it and get your butt sent back home is also in front of you. And there's going to be some decisions to make. There's going to be some highs and lows. There's going to be some things that you're not familiar with and that you may not know how to deal with. Parents, here's a perfect example. For many of the kids that go off, they were superstars. They were superstars at the schools that they went to. They were superstars in their community. Some of them superstars in their region and state. Now, how do you respond when you go off to Michigan, when you go off to Ohio State, when you go off to Texas Tech, and you're not the superstar? You go off to San Diego State and you're not the superstar. A matter of fact, you got 4 guys in front of you that are better than you. You know that they're better than you. How do you deal with that? Chapter 1. Chapter 1. You guys, we just had an episode of the Weekday Huddle where we talked about being humbled. You ain't played long enough until you get humble. So we do not leave our athletes, especially during this day and age where the transfer portal is prevalent, NIL is moving. There's a lot of expectations and pressure on these athletes. You could be a superstar, freshman All-American one year, and by the time you leave college, nobody knows about you anymore. So it is very important. That's why we wanted to do this episode of the Weekday Huddle, because we also wanted to remind you it's a journey. It's a journey, not just for the athletes, but for the families of the athletes. It's a journey, you guys. So we want to be there for all of it. We got a young man that's going off to UCLA. Shouts out to Zaire Young. I was just telling another family this story, and this is all in the course of a 2-year period. Goes to Nevada, Reno, thinking he's going to have a PWO roster spot opportunity. Coaching changes and things take place as soon as he gets up there. This is right after COVID, so things are crazy. Then they don't give him the roster spot opportunity. He's kind of hanging around Nevada, Reno, not being the best person he can be. And then his mom says, come on home. And if you're really serious, go to the JC over there. He goes to the JC. Coach switched him from defensive line to offensive line. The kid takes off like a rocket. And all kind of schools want him all of a sudden. One season. of junior college ball. Now all of the college want him. Now he's going off to UCLA, putting some money in his pocket. Totally different chapter. Remember I said chapter 1 after you leave high school? Totally different chapter for Zaire. This the juicy chapter. So we want to be there for it all, because when he was at Nevada Reno and they wouldn't let him on the team, that wasn't the juicy chapter. That was the chapter where some probably say, hey, I don't know if this is for me, and I'm going to hang it up and quit. So we do not leave our athletes once we place them off at a university. Once they make their decision after high school, we are not leaving you. You athletes who are listening to this, that is dial it in time. It doesn't matter that you were a star at your high school, a star at your JC. This is a new chapter. A matter of fact, this is only chapter 1. You got a long way to go, baby. But the beautiful thing about it is if you could keep your mind right, if you could stay strategic, if you could pull yourself up whenever there's some lows. There's going to be some lows of injury. There's going to be some lows where you're not vibing right with the coach. This is the football entertainment industry. Things will go left from time to time. But that is totally fine if you can stay focused, if you have support, if you have some guidance. So we do not leave our athletes, you guys, and we highly encourage, even if you're not with Before You Go Pro and you're a student athlete that's going off to college or already at college, that you really, really have some mentorship or you have some support that's separate from the school. Especially because you guys bounce around from school to school, or you may be an athlete who does in the future. You want it to be separate from what the school provides. You guys, it's only chapter 1. And we're going to write this thing, baby. We're going to write this book the right way. And I know you guys are going to flourish as long as you got some support. So don't sign with the university out of high school or JC. Don't commit to a PWO out of high school or JC and feel like it's done. Feel like you're set, because it's a journey. It's a far journey, and there's many more chapters to come. All right, baby? So, hey, hopefully that finds you well. These are the things that we want to talk about in the huddle. The huddle is special. The huddle is where we get to play, right? The huddle is where we go take that and we go execute. So that's just for you today. You guys remember, it's only chapter 1, baby. Everything you do before you get to college, that's the prelude. You know, your little league, your high school, that's the prelude. And you're getting things revved up. And then you get to that college football training camp. Chapter 1 now. It's on. The book's about to begin. All right. So hopefully you guys are well. Hit that subscribe button and then check out those resources, because we want to teach you guys how to get to those opportunities that you desire. All right. I'm Coach Wood. Make sure that you share with your team, your family, and your friends. I'll see you at the top.